You know what's funny? There are lots of card games today, like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. But I know a card game that's probably much more better than those. And that is Yu-Gi-Oh! And the card games. Now, what was so great about this manga that had card games and a bunch of video games and other merchandise? What was so great about this one book published by Shonen Jump? The same people who brought us Dragon Ball Z and other great classics like Bleach. Well, the story begins in 1982. The creator, Kazooie or whatever, was trying to enter the manga business but failed miserably. It wasn't until 1996 that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is what brought this man to a greater legend. Now, it says on the bottom, the world's most popular manga. Is that the truth? I really don't know. But I'm not here to talk about it, I'm here to review it. So, what is it about, to be honest? Basically, it's about... To be honest, I really don't know what it's about. The strangest thing is, the first book is so different from the others. So, get this straight. That is Yugi. You're kidding me. This is Yugi Moto? He doesn't even look like himself. The funniest thing is, look at all the characters. And why is he marching like a freaking Nazi? There's really some issues here. I mean, just look. Does that look like Yugi from Duel Monsters? I mean, seriously. Oh, God, this manga is so confusing. There's just so many problems with this manga that I just can't explain. Some of them just more stupid than the other. I mean, the animation is different, and the art style is, but just look at it. And look at this. Look how tall Tia is, or Anzu. She was called Anzu at the time for some reason. Is so bigger than Yugi. And look. He's fantasizing about her panties. What kind of person does that? Man, mangas were just perverts back in the day. Oh, and look. Like the Dragon Balls. Like Dragon Ball Z. And basically, this is what I want to tell you. The manga is really different from the anime and, well, Season 0 or whatever. But you gotta learn that every single series begins really different from what it apparently is now. Like, for instance, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were bad. They were, like, badass. They were kicking butt, and they changed so radically to, like, a kid show where they don't beat butt at all and just don't kill people. So, of course, everything's going to be different in the first issue. That's how every manga is. But the thing is, the animation just doesn't look right. I mean, look at that smile. This looks like a cartoon book. And this was all and the story was all made and drawn by this man. Right here. And he makes it look like a freaking... Now, you have to admit, the manga isn't that bad. This is the first time we ever saw Yu-Gi-Oh! But what I don't understand is why it has to be so complex. And this is the scene where we also meet Joey and Preston, or Genocha and Hondaru, as their name was. Now, of course, they don't look the same at all, except for Hirota right here, or Preston, as you want to call him. He looks the same, but Genocha, he looks different. And there's the bully and all that. And for some reason, they do this stupid game with knives. I don't mean to be a little bit of a meanie to you, but knives? What happened to card games? I mean, did they forget about Yu-Gi-Oh card games? This manga's really making me mad. Well, the first one's out of ideas. All of them are just not particular to Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, you would think that they would put a few in here. Games. I mean, look, even Joey, he's getting his butt kicked here by some director or Genocha is what you want. If you want. And look. Dice. He uses dice. Wow. We didn't find anything in that issue. Why don't we look at the next one? I also have the second manga of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is where Genocha really begins looking like himself. I mean, in that manga, he didn't look anything like himself. In this one, Yugi actually looks like himself. He really does. In the other, he just looks like a jumbled mess. And so does Tia, except we're Anzu. They really have to change names. This one is actually pretty cooler. This is where we first meet Kaiba. Yeah, Sento Kaiba, the guy who's always chasing Yugi around everywhere. Yeah, we actually meet him. Yeah. This is actually the first time. And also, this is the first time that we're introduced to dual monsters, or known as wizards and something, based off the Magic Gathering game. So, the manga, the second one, really isn't that bad. I have to admit, there's a cool scene where Yugi is look, where Yugi is fighting in the rain. Who wouldn't like that scene? If you don't like it, then I don't know where you've been living. Also, there's a weird one of Yugi in Egypt. I never heard of Egypt in that. That pretty much ends Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. All the stories are same. But the next one, I don't even want to review at all, but I have to. Because I can't forget that one. And I don't have GX or 5Ds. But I have the worst one of them all. This is a piece of crap. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now, to be honest, what kind of name is Zexal? I don't really even like that name. God, whoever made this was obviously thinking something else. Maybe they were on drugs. And plus, look, based on the hit TV and the hit 4Kids TV show, this wasn't made by Shonen Jump. In this one, they make it look like a Shonen Jump massacre. And look at that art style. Oh, this is definitely Yu-Gi-Oh! You're looking at the new generation. That sucks. This is definitely not Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. Just look at the art style. It looks so perved. It doesn't even look like Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Now this is Yu-Gi-Oh! This is just a piece of crap that someone pooped out. I bet they took the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and just made different characters and just freaking put this in Jump's hands and made them publish it and sold it in stores. I don't even think this is really even a manga. I mean, just look at the art style. It looks horrible. It looks like Kill la Kill, except it's much more horrible. Just look at it. Just look at it. I mean, I could consider this a little bit, but look at the others. They all look like cartoon characters. Even this guy right here looks like one. God, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gotten pretty stupid. The funniest thing I have to say is that none of them are even made by the creator of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, GX, not made by him. 5Ds. Zexal, not even Arc V, the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. None of them were made by the creator. Which sucks in my opinion, because I really think he would have continued the story of Yugi. Now, in my personal opinion, will Yugi ever come back? The answer is no. Because I really think Yugimoto's story has come to an end. And even if they did want to bring him back, I really think that would ruin the momentum. So, what do I think about Yu-Gi-Oh? To be honest, it's not really a bad series. It was really great for the time. And in fact, the first were. So, Season 0, if you don't know what that is, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! The first anime adaptation of it. It was never released in America because of the violence, and it's only in Japan. Now, if you want to see episodes of it, you can go on YouTube. Some of them will be removed for copyright reasons. But I don't think you care about them. Then came Duel Monsters, which was like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! and it was the first to be voiced by Dan Green, who also voiced that Moto guy from Pokemon, the first movie. That guy who's a mix between both. Yeah, he voiced that dude. And then came GX, which wasn't a bad one. It was sort of one of the last good Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows. Then came 5Ds. Not really a bad show at all, but there was just too much motorcycle action. It didn't feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Then came the worst of them all, Zexal. That was a pretty bad one, because the character Yuma, who's the main protagonist, always cried so much. And in Arc V, they sort of brought the Yu-Gi-Oh! Formula back. So yeah, it's sort of back. The card games, classic as hell. These are never going to rot. And to be honest, I really don't think this is the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's going to be around for a long, long time. Just like how Star Wars is going to last forever. I won't be around to see the end. But anyway, I gotta go do some personal stuff.